they had actually held my head together with some paper towel, and the kid that ended up with the paper towel full of blood wanted to clone me. He wanted to make
All
a
right.
a clone of a clone band of Mark's, and that was going to be a new band.
I'm gonna take this blood off of this discarded napkin
Yeah.
and using my technology, I'm gonna grow a clone
Hmm.
army of marks to shred my way to domination.
Welcome to the 11th episode of the Cassidins Creation. This is the show where I interview bands from the Mathcore community. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in and I'll try to read them aloud. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this show is first recorded live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and now Wednesday for the Cassidins Creation at twitch.tv/the Cassidins Creation. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight, who dropped a ripping EP, Invisible Monsters, back in October 2nd on War Against Records. Welcome in the Arson Choir.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Glad y'all could be here. Tell us who you are and what you do in the band.
After you get to.
Well, my name's Marc. I play guitar and I try to make sense of some really weird thoughts that I have that end up on the guitar.
My name is Phil. I'm vocals and vomiting my thought process over whatever random noise this gentleman presents to me.
And who are we missing? We have a second guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. They're all either working or working on stuff to kind of help the band keep moving forward.
Okay.
Or they're just socially awkward and we just don't want them here because, you know, it's just the two good-looking ones. That's all you need. Nothing more. Trim the fat. Trim the fat.
Trim the beard.
So, for people that might not be completely familiar with you guys, can you walk us through just a brief history of the band?
Yeah, sure. So the core members was myself, the drummer Kevin, and our other guitarist Eric, and we formed a band a long time ago, and we kind of just have continuously playing music together, and eventually it just turned into like my turn to write, and that's what ended up being the Arson Choir. We went through a couple vocalists, and we loved each of them, but at the end of the day, like Phil ended up being the guy that was fit, and he kind of turned into like my hype man, and he kind of turned into like what I really needed in a writing partner. Because I love and respect all the guys in the band, and that's not really ever been an issue. But I really needed somebody to kind of give me that like spiritual push of like, yo, you're doing the right thing. Like, let's keep doing that.
Okay, and when did you come into the band, Phil?
So we've been married how long? Was it almost 2 years now?
Oh God, has it been? I thought this was 3.
Yeah. Oh, so this might
Is
be
3 years.
This might be 3.
This might
So
be-
coming up on 3 years, we've been married, and it's been such a good meeting of the minds because we both vibe on we vibe on your band, we vibe on 18 Visions, E-Tid, just some ripping bands, heavy Lolo. And just when I play drums as well, so we get together and we write song skeletons together, and it's just pitching ideas and mouth riffs back and forth to each other just to really get the spark going. And once we start pulling on a string and things start jamming, it just becomes the ruckus that we start serving you guys. And it's been a great partnership. Just as soon as we got together, I remember just being like, hey man, do you want to jam sometime? He's like, I play drums. And then that just was the first domino in a great just writing relationship, and it just makes everything more fun.
Yeah,
Nice.
right now the process is literally just going putting some of your songs on and going, how do we do that?
You're giving me too much credit, man. You're giving me too much credit. So you brought up some influences. I heard obviously a lot of Every Time I Die and The Cherry and such in your music. Marc, what are some of your influences that you're bringing to the table?
I mean, a lot of that the same, but also like Dillinger Escape Plan, Duck Duck Goose. Uh, God, we've been on this other one. I mean, let me find it real quick. We've been on this other one that we send music back and forth to each other like pretty regularly.
I would probably plug Possession 1981. I just found out about them. They're a two-person band. It's just they just put out a video not that long ago. It was just really dark, like OG goth looking makeup, and it's just a real lo-fi video. It's just really aggressive. That's a band I've been listening to a lot recently.
Oh yeah,
There's
man,
a
them
band.
videos have been sick.
There's a band that we went back and forth on recently called "Me and Him Call It Us,"
Fuck yeah, dude. Loss. Oh my god, it's so good. One of my
and
biggest
then
influences too.
so here's the thing I wanted to ask you because like your influences remind myself and my girlfriend a lot of a band called Psyopus.
Oh hell yeah, dude. A huge
And
influence,
I
man.
love that band. I think that band fucking slams. And I you know, you're playing like I put it on, and my girlfriend Kristen was instantly like, "Are you listening to Psyopus?" He's like, "No, no, this is the sound that ends creation. Like this is dope."
Well, enough about my music. Let's talk about you guys. So, what's the writing process like? Is someone primarily directing it, or people bringing in different pieces, seeing how it works together?
um,
Sometimes it'll start off. I just have like an idea, and I just just pantomime some riff over voice chat or something like that. I'm like, dude, what do you think about this vibe? And he cranks it out into something that's actually a riff, and we start expanding on it. So I play drums, so me and him will get together and start a song skeleton, create a vibe that like we want to take the song in this direction, and then present it to the rest of the guys, and then they start adding their spices. They're getting their spice bay on, and it becomes
something. It becomes
something.
something. Yeah. Usually it's me sitting at the guitar going, you know, what can I do today to not sound terrible?
How can this not suck?
Yeah.
It's just like it's a good. It sounds silly, but I mean, you're just always trying to outdo yourself and write riffs that are still get you excited about playing this type of music after X amount of years. Like You and Me Call It Us is like from 2006. Like we're trying to take an old something that's 15 years plus type of sound and still find life and inspire others and get other people excited about the music. And if it hasn't gotten tiresome yet.
No, because my big thing is I got to be able to listen to whatever I write. You know, if you can't enjoy and listen to what you're writing, you kind of probably shouldn't be doing it. Like everything that influences me, like I keep coming back to, and I keep coming back to it because it's always refreshing to find something new. So I try to do that in my playing. If there's something in my playing where I'm like, this is tired, or I've done this before, then I don't do it anymore, and we move on to something else.
Right. Yeah, like there's always those people that are like, man, you listen to your music all like this many times or whatever, and it's like, yeah, man, it's because I love it, right? That's why I'm making it.
Yeah. I think what's interesting is a dynamic between something like what we do and something like what you do, where you don't really have anybody telling you no. You know, like that's what I like about your music. There's not another person to be like, okay, bro, like calm down.
This is too much. There is no too much. It's
Yeah.
just shred, riff soup, riff salad,
And
and I feel like we're trying to head down that same kind of road. Just our creative process, like we want to make songs that we're inspired by. So as far as like the boundaries are concerned, like there is no. It's just like whatever we think is sick, or we feel like will make people hate us.
yeah.
Hell yeah, man! No rules, no rules. So I saw your YouTube videos of y'all like in the studio talking about how it was a new experience compared to the time before. Where did y'all end up recording this?
So this record was broken up into like 2 or 3 sessions. Because originally we had went to do work with one producer, and that relationship just kind of dissolved. Nothing against him, like he had a lot of priorities that were much more beneficial to him than we are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I can't blame the dude for going to do the next What was the rapper he did?
The dude that looks like a gas station attendant.
Oh, Post Malone. Um, yeah, he went to go do that, and like I said, nothing against him. Like that's a much bigger paycheck than what we can ever afford.
I mean, who would want to do some Grammy nominated rapper over fucking Mathcore?
Yeah.
Whatever. Trying to get that paper.
So he ended up handling the drums, and that was at a place called Fourth Street Studios, and then from there we went with a buddy of ours named Casual Wolf, and he handled a lot of the guitars, bass, and vocals as far as engineering and production, and he had his team that had a mixer, and that guy mixed it, and then we went to I can't think of the mastering guy right now. It's the guy that does all the Dance Gavin Dance stuff. Chris Cummett. He went to Chris Cummett for mastering.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, it turned out to be a lot of hands got on it, and I think that kind of helped turn it into something more interesting than, say, if I tried to do it myself or went with somebody that just wanted to do. We had a lot of guys in LA that were just interested in doing digital drums and digital amps and kind of just crank out,
Just like really very basic stuff. We really
Yeah.
wanted something that had feeling, and there's nothing like, just like when the distortion hits your ear vagina just right, it just stays with you. And we want to create a sound that sticks with people, and it's all about real guitars and real amps, getting a real, like, that down to earth, like, hardcore sound. It's like you can't fake it with fake drums. It doesn't have the right impact that, if you're into this type of music, you want to hear that abrasiveness, you want to feel the grit and the tension of all the instruments working together. And if it's just some cut and paste right on top of each other, sometimes it just loses some of the
way that I put it is, there's a lot of perfect records out there, and that's cool. Like, if that's what you want to do, like, I listen to those records. I listen to Periphery. I listen to Animals as Leaders, and those records are perfect, like, quote unquote perfect. Like, they're to the grid, perfect, and that's cool. Like, if that's what your band is about, like, that's cool. We're not perfect, and we like to acknowledge that we're not perfect. And I think part of that realness is to be able to translate that to an audible sound.
So you guys were recorded live in the studio then? It wasn't separate takes?
I think the first record we did was live, and there was some stuff in there that I felt like was lacking. We did some separation on this last one, and then we did some overlays that were a little bit more raw.
Okay. How long did that take?
70 years. It felt like that. Honestly, it was probably over a 6-month process, just, with scheduling, five dudes, 6 counting, recording engineers, like, getting schedules and all that kind of stuff. But, I was driving out to LA from
Orange County,
from Santa Ana,
Yeah.
Orange County, and hour and a half, both ways to get it done. But, it was a labor of love, but in the end, like, we were super happy with the finished product. Like, everything, as much of a pain as it was sometimes to get things, finalized and, sounding the way we want to, it was every bit of the pain was worth it.
Nice. Yeah, it's been 3 years since your last EP. I'm wondering when the full length's happening. Hopefully not another 3 years.
So, without getting too far into it, we are in the process of already demoing the next tracks for a full length.
Nice.
We did kind of take the time that the lockdown and the shutdown gave us to kind of go, well, we have to release this music no matter what. And that's kind of been the outlook of the band since the beginning was, we don't know what could happen tomorrow. You don't know what the next day is going to bring you. The band can end tomorrow. Like, somebody can get hurt tomorrow.
Now someone can get sick tomorrow.
Somebody can get sick tomorrow. So we always kind of kind of kept it in the mindset of like, in case everything ends, let's get as much done as we can. And the response for this release has been amazing, and it's kind of been a good push to get everybody to like, let's really work on, 20, 22 tracks, and then
boil them down.
Yeah, get the gold out of those tracks.
So you took the 22 tracks and you knock it down to 4. It was 4 on this, right? I'm pretty sure it's 4, right?
Oh no.
No.
I think with this one we took 8 tracks.
Yeah, 8 tracks and
Okay.
whittled it down to 4.
The next one.
Yeah, looking down the line, like we already
Gotcha.
have we have 6 songs in the pipeline right now, and taking a look at what the music scene is going to be like, 2021, all that kind of stuff. We want to we're very optimistic about everything getting back to shows and stuff like that, but right now it's just kind of like a now or never. The response from Invisible Monsters is really kind of galvanized the band and just being like, all right, there is gold and then there are hills. People like this new version of what we're doing, and we're just trying to push that even further. So right now we're in the middle of demo process, and we're gonna try our best to just little bit of War of the Beasts
Technical difficulties over here.
right? So right now we're just we're back in the lab pretty much. Everything's shut down. No shows on the horizon, but we're gonna be delivering you that full length that you're itching for sooner than you think.
Okay. So on I forgot what it was. American Trophies, was that what the first EP was?
Trophy Nation.
Trophy Nation. I knew something like that. There was some singing, and there's not now. Is that because you didn't want to sing, Phil, or what was up with that?
It's because it's my shame. Honestly,
wait, was that you on Trophy Nation? I thought it was another. Okay. I thought it was different. Okay.
My first appearance, origin story with the band is Invisible Monsters, and just I don't singing. I like bands that have singing in it, but it's just not my forte. And I don't want to force something that's just force it if it's not going to work, or force it if it's not the right approach. And then what we're writing now isn't in the same kind of a vibe, like a harmonic vibe, than the older stuff. This is like a lot more aggressive. Moving forward.
No, I feel that. Yeah, I totally heard the difference between Trophy Nation and this one. And to be honest, I think you're the better vocalist. So y'all won overall.
Thanks, man.
Speaking about your vocals, your lyrics are a bit more straightforward than other bands, which I really appreciate. Sometimes you look at some bands' lyrics and you're like, what the hell are they talking about? And in here you've got lyrics about breaking up, depression, social injustice, hate and humanity, like all across the board. Do you have a certain lyrical inspiration, or is it just what comes out of your head?
As far as vocal delivery, some bands that I like may not be like a heavy band would be Boys Night Out from Canada. Just the execution and the alliteration of the singer just always stuck with me. Their release, what is the one with the second one with the dude? I'll tell you right now. Not Make Yourself Sick, but Trainwreck. Okay. The Trainwreck full length by Boys Night Out, one of my top albums of all time, and it's just a very flowy. Just the bounce and the cadence just amplifies the riffage, and I try to take that and reform it for this machine, and that's a band that I always keep in the back of my head. James Hart from 18 Visions, he always he said back in the day that his approach was always, he went to find the melody or the execution first, and then work on the actual lyrics. And I kind of take that too, because with screaming and stuff like that, it's, your breath, the cadence, that's everything when you're a vocalist. So you really need to I try to find the patterns that work for me, and then reverse engineer, words that really fit the vibe, because it can be a pain, and just sometimes I sit and I just ache over lyrics on like what really gives it the bounce. But I feel like this type of music, it's all about the parts coming together, and not so much like, oh, this scream needs to just be so gnar above everything. I'm more like it's got to flow with what he's writing as far as guitars go and drums.
I gotcha. But like writing lyrics in general, like it's just what comes out of your head, or
Writing lyrics just what comes out of my head. I really try, and because I try to reverse engineer songs, I think about the title and the theme of the songs that I want to write. If even if it's something weird like cannibalism, like just spacey shit, it's like always if I have the concept first, it's easy for me to just find my patterns, find my breath and execution, and then just write everything from there.
you saying we're
So
getting some songs about space on the next album?
yeah, you might
We're
get
going to space, boys.
songs with Mars, bitches. Yeah,
Gore was about had some space.
Gore was right, has a little bit of a space influence from it. That's where it comes from. And I'm a big movie person. I like books, I reading, so I look for inspirations everywhere. And it's just once you find that, like, ooh, that could make a good line, and you just take it and you just start pulling from there, and then just my mind just kind of fills in the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Sick stuff. Chad, I just want to remind you that you could drop in questions and stuff at any point. Let's move on to one of the cooler aspects, I think, of your band. Y'all are super professional looking, and the thing that really pulls it together, makes y'all look so professional to me, and like y'all are on another level, is your YouTube channel. How you have these amazing videos for Gore Was Right and Vanisher, and like I just gotta ask you, and Gore Was Right, are those other guys? Is that another band that y'all were doing
Yes.
this with?
It's
Okay.
Taker's
Yeah, that's our friends in Takers Levers. If you ever get a
Takers
chance,
Levers.
they're not. I wouldn't consider them. They're not a mathy band, but they are catchy as fuck.
melodic, great singing. David Baki, the singer, his vocals always impress me, and just being able to watch him grow as a guitar player and as a singer, just like I love those guys. That's why we were like, please be in our video.
Yeah, they're on, for me, like those dudes are on a different level. Like they have such massive potential to be, in my opinion, like the next big Southern California band. And
Check him out.
yeah, I only wish those guys the best.
Well, your videos look super professional. Are y'all like working with some kind of production company, or it couldn't have just been like your friends or whatever, right? Hanging out and filming stuff.
It's just Gene. It's just our buddy Gene Ramirez. He runs his Instagram is it a stranger, and that dude is super talented
And
at all the camera stuff.
so
Really?
good.
And yeah, and Phil and him usually come up with the concept and hash it out, sit down and hash it out, and then it becomes this weird video that I'm so glad we do it, and I'm so proud to be in. But at the same time, I have such a hard time showing it to like my girlfriend's family. Like, hey, check out this weird thing that I do on the weekends.
We got wrestlers.
We got wrestlers.
Like we're a serious band playing, tug of war in the park. These songs are deep. Yeah. But I feel lucky that I get to be like, I want to do a music video with wrestlers and this couple breaking up, and they're like, okay, I'm like, yes. Like,
see, this is why I like your style of working, because nobody tells you no. Like we get told no on a regular basis because we have such like out there ideas, and it's usually the other guys going, no, like you can't do that. Like
it's like nope, too mean, no, too aggressive. No, it's like but the ideas that we get to work, and it's just fun. It's fun hanging out with your boys. On a Saturday, getting to do silly games and stupid shit in the park. Like, whoever, I never would have thought, like, oh, we're going to get some fucking wrestlers and they're going to be doing, like, body slams and legit ass. Like, that shit looks like it hurts. Like, I've never been a person to be like, oh, wrestling's fake. But no, when you see someone get slammed, there's no way you're like, oh, yeah, that's easy peasy. Like, fuck that. Like, that shit hurts.
Well, the videos look like y'all put up a lot of money to make them. I'm assuming you don't by your reaction.
No,
Movie magic.
movie magic, and I think honestly, what a lot of that comes with is um, just planning and planning ahead, and you know, our publicist and my girlfriend Kristen both. She does a lot of work to where it makes us look a lot better than we are.
The movie man,
Okay.
and like being his skills and like the editing and stuff like that. You know, taking like a goofy premise, you know, and us having a good location. We did luck out on that.
Yeah.
As far as we couldn't walk up into our local Olive Garden and be like, "Excuse me, can we body slam somebody through this table?" Like, can you? We'll also need some unlimited breadsticks. I don't think they would do that,
Nah.
but it's just the people that we work with, and we have talented friends that just our
Support
friends
us.
help us get
They
along.
support us for some reason.
It's the pretty faces. It's this pretty face. You see this? Who could deny this face?
A lot of
I also really liked your playthrough video of tasting all the chicken nuggets and stuff. It's such an excellent idea, man. Like when I was watching, I was like, God damn, why didn't I think of this? Like shit.
that was just an excuse to get fat for today and just eat chicken nuggets. We just I needed a reason to want to try all the chicken nuggets, and it was like, oh, guitar playthrough.
Which one won?
Which one? For me, Burger King won, but KFC was terrible.
Really?
Yeah. Their KFC.
They're like known for chicken too. The burger joint wins.
Yeah, 100%. Because we went on the weekend that they started the vegan nuggets thing, and it was terrible.
Oh,
It was.
that's why.
Tell all your friends.
Yeah.
But see, this is the beauty. We're just trying to incept the idea of chicken nugget sponsorship down the road.
Mhm.
You know, we'll be your burger princes and get crowns and have like nugget chains in our video.
I will fully do that.
Just like the possibilities are endless. We'll get like drumsticks that are really like chicken legs.
Really, this was just a way to try to get fed while we're on tour.
Right? Oh, see, boom. Please, sir, can I shred for some nuggets? We're just playing those ideas.
That's so good. Okay,
What
so
you do on the road?
Huh?
Is that what we do on the road to survive?
Right. So you guys got signed by War Against Records. How'd you guys hook up with them?
Oh God, that was just complete coincidence.
Yeah.
Like the long story of it is, I made friends with the guitarist from Pressure Cracks, Dan, and he's a gear nerd, just like we are, and we were just going back and forth about gear, and it just turned out that they had a weekend of shows coming up, and the local one, the closest one to us, was filled. So I was like, bro, like, can you get us on the other one? Which the other one was going to be in San Diego, which is almost like a 2-hour drive. So we're like, okay, like, look, like, we'll do it. Like, we don't care. Let's just make it happen. We'll go do it. And did the show.
Played 2 shows together.
Did the show, and later that night, they had found out somebody dropped off from the other show. And they were like, come do it. Went to do it, and that turned out when we played the show, Dan, the one that helped us out to figure out the show, told his buddy Ryan, which is the bass player for Pressure Cracks, who is also the owner for War Against Records. And he was like, you got to check these guys out. And it just kind of turned into like,
what do you guys want to do with the band?
Yeah.
Like, what are your goals? Like, Ryan talked to us after the show. He's a real nice guy, and it's just us, grubby know nothings. Just, hey man, we're just excited to play with them. Playing with them, Pressure Cracks. Great bunch of dudes. Jason from Let Live, an inspiration of mine, stuff like that. And just the opportunity. You're like, what do you guys see? What do you guys want to do? And we're like, we just want to shred. So, Ryan was all about, what we were doing and just our execution and some of the ideas. You talked to him about the, wrestler idea and stuff like that. And he was, for some reason, all about it. And the rest is just
what sold him was the wrestlers specifically. He's like, oh, you're going to have wrestlers in your video? Okay, let's do this.
I got in the singlet. You saw
Yeah.
me in the wrestling singlet, and that's
That
really what
sold
sold him.
Yeah, really, what it was a lot of the work that the band does. We were already just rolling. We were already going, and we've been so used to being an independent band that this stuff was going to happen, whether we had backing or not. And I think that's something that he kind of was like, oh, like they're doing this very well on their own. Like I want to see what I can do to be a part of that. And that, I think, that was a real positive like interaction where it was like, let's just combine forces and be this gigantic entity, and hopefully people like it. Because War Against is dope. Like the bands on War Against are already dope.
Rot, shout out to him.
Pressure Cracks, uh, Fake Figures. Like these are all dope bands. And we just got lucky. I don't think it's anything more than just like we just wanted to play shows.
And then Ryan, he's really invested in like the music scene, and he wants to see things flourish, and not just like want to find next band, make some money. Like he's wants good bands to be able to spread their wings and get out to a bigger audience. And it's just been a real positive influence to have someone that you look up to, and that's in a cool band that you're like, yeah, they're like giving you a positive push and wanting to see you succeed and grow. Well, and just that really helps.
I think that's been a big part of a big issue in the Southern California scene in general, because we haven't had a lot of bands and other artists that like want to push other bands to also do well, because it's been very like territorial, I guess is the word.
Doggy dog.
And with us, like we love Takers, we love Steak Sauce Mustache, Ursula, you guys, Sound That Ends Creation, anything math, from the Mathcore Index, and we do our best to share and like and subscribe and whatever we can do to expose more
other
people
bands.
Because I don't feel like there's been that kind of camaraderie in a long time. I haven't felt that kind of camaraderie of hey, if you do well, that means I do well. Like that kind of mindset has been kind of missing from the heavy scene. So I kind of feel like we've been doing our best to like Pressure Cracks kind of put that on us. Ryan kind of put that on us to kind of like if you guys do well, we do well. Like let's keep that going. Let's keep that mindset going of like it costs nothing to share. That's what I've always told in anything that anybody I talk to. It costs $0 to share.
And it's like if it's a band that especially if it's like your friend's band or someone that you enjoy playing with, you pushing their band or sharing a video, and it just helps us all survive together. And it's just especially now when there's like no shows and it's kind of seems a little bit bleak sometimes, but just bands that are helping other bands and just keeping the music ideals alive and stuff like that, and just bands supporting and positively rubbing off on each other. Just it helps it be more of a scene of bands, a big our SoCal area, as opposed to just 5 or 6 bands like fighting for dominance over 2 spots that aren't pay to play.
Yeah.
Is like coming out of this whole 2020 nightmare. It just makes me think, that bands and music, there has to be like a better way of, doing this, because the streets cold out there, man. So it's bands helping each other is really what's going to help all of us, get where we want to go.
Right. We're really lucky in the Mathcore scene to have like this tight-knit community.
I agree. We've been lucky in the idea that we've been really welcomed into the Mathcore community, because for a long time I didn't know what to call what we do. My other guitarist and I had a lot of very heated discussions on what this music is. We started and I thought it was noisecore and I thought it was experimental hardcore, and he wanted to go in the more like heavy rock genre, and somehow we got kind of accepted into the Mathcore community. And I personally don't think I'm a good enough guitarist to be Mathcore. So
we do our best.
Yeah, we just do our best to be what we do. And luckily, the mathcore community has really accepted what we do as, you know, as mathcore, because I
One
love,
of us.
yeah,
One of us.
I love mathcore music. I love math music. I love grinding music. I love heavy music, but I try to listen to a little bit of everything. Even one of your casts, when I forget who it was, but it was more of a jazz influenced math style band, and
Probably Horse Torso or Needle Play.
I've definitely listened to both of those, and that got me more like, oh, like let me actually try to check out what jazz lessons I can take, and like what jazz things I can incorporate into what we do. Sorry, I just threw up a little bit.
Nice.
And oh, we were that too. We were
What do you say?
puke core. We were puke core for a little while.
Puke.
Gotta throw that in throw that into the background of every breakdown.
That was from our drummer vomiting on after a show one time, and we were called puke core for a good week.
Any it's good press. Any bad press is good press. Hey, puppy.
So who's this? This is the person making all the noise in the background. Who's this?
you okay? If we're talking about just random noise in the background, usually always me.
Mhm.
I'm always doing nonsense. When
Oh no, I meant the dog.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
This is fucking terror right here.
This is one of them.
She wants to start her own mathcore band, and she's just trying to do vocals right now.
What's her name?
This one's Sasuke.
Sasuke.
Mhm.
Nice.
That's right. You want to shred? You want to shred, puppy? Oh.
Your view count just doubled because we showed a puppy.
Oh yeah, for real. Thank you. But now you guys are talking about how War Against Records was liking all the work you guys are putting into your music. What is some of that work? Like, what do you think bands should be doing to get noticed?
Oh, that's a good one, bro.
Content.
Damn, that's a good question. Yeah, content seems to be the greatest your great wild card right now, because if you're putting out content but specifically quality content, I think that's your best bet, especially for something like right now where you can't really do shows, you can't really go out and promote, you can't really do a whole lot of things that like bands are used to doing. So, yeah, quality content is really what I think helps listeners kind of connect more with the band.
They can see the personality of the band, just like you're just like one more person making noise. And just in this time that we are, when everyone is locked in and people are hungry for just new things to latch onto, new things to keep them excited about music for when shows come back. So it's just like, if bands that are still about that life are still throwing their name out into the interwebs, like, hey, here's a guitar playthrough, here's a video, here's us, eating hot sauce and talking about bands that we like, so you can see us suffer while talking about music. Just anything to just keep this is entertainment, and it's art, and it's a lot of things mixed into each other. And it's just like, right now, bands putting their name out there and putting their ethos and all that stuff out there, just showing people that, hey, we're still alive, will go a long way. Because when shows come back, if your name's on a flyer, it's like, oh, these are the guys that put out those funny videos, these are the guys that I learned one of those songs. It's like something to keep your mind fresh in people's subconscious until we can all shred again. So I would say, content is probably like the number one thing, and just always like staying hungry for your art and your craft. It's just like, it's so many bands, you have one good, first outing, or you got the Hungry Like the Wolf going on, and then you come back and then you start dumbing things down, you water it down, and it's just like, you don't have the hunger that you did before. And just like, that's, I feel like a reflection of, how you feel about, music and the scene. And if you have a general thirst for just making music, you're always trying to push yourself and just try and make a better craft, like, shred better than you did before. And it's just like continually, like Marc taking lessons to find, what jazz things he can incorporate, pushing yourself, continuing to push your craft, because, once you start slacking, why are people going to come back and buy your t-shirts or listen to your EP or give you the time of day if, all the riffs are banging on the first one and you come back for round two and it's just like it's the same
Staleness.
same thing that everyone else is doing. So that would be my personal thought on it.
So you think the YouTube was like the thing that really got them to sign you guys? Like
Oh no,
the shows and stuff, obviously, but like the YouTube was like the thing where they're like, "Oh shit, that looks awesome. We're gonna bring
oh
you
no,
guys
not at
on."
all. No, not at all. I think constantly texting and bugging him was what got us signed.
Wearing him down.
Being annoying until he accepted it. No, I think a big part of it was seeing the live show and seeing that we're willing to kind of put our bodies on the risk at risk to put on a good show and jump off things and interact and actually be a live band, I guess is the thing. Like, we've seen a lot of bands in just between the two of us, and it's cool. Like, I love seeing bands and I love seeing dudes that are talented, but we definitely have seen a good amount of bands that just get on stage and just chug,
right,
and just I'm good, and then
right
do the sway.
No, robotic.
Oh yeah, and we've definitely tried to push ourselves to do a lot more and be a lot more energetic and bring a show, and
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Like outside of bands that are just shredding at a level where movement would just break the concentration of the pi level, riffs that are going down. You're playing like fun hardcore and stuff like that, and if you, the artist, the person on stage, aren't having fun, the people coming to see you aren't going to have fun.
Yeah,
and that's not translate into your YouTube. It's not going to translate into whatever content you put out. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Like, and the guys in the band, like, it's silly, and it shows it's something that puts us away from other bands, to where, like, we might just be silly and funny on top of the shred and the heavy, but it's like we're having fun, and then that just shows through, and everything else that we do. And it's just like, when people come to see the band, it's like something that you want. If you get the vibe, you want to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're into the riffs, like, when you come to a show, just like, we want that vibe, that synchronicity, that, who wants to go to a show and just be the dude in the back, go arms crossed, just fronting on everything?
Well, that's actually what I was going to bring up, is we've definitely experienced the other side of that too, where we've been at shows and we've been the worst band of the day for there. But when we played that LA show, where we're like, that Arson Choir is not even a metal band, like
Body Snatcher show.
Body Snatch, yeah. And we weren't metal enough, and then
wasn't heavy enough.
Really?
And then you go the other way, where we'll play a punk show and we're just not everybody's cup of tea.
My freaking ears.
And but that's the thing, is like, we're the kind of band, we'll play anywhere. If there's enough power outlets, we'll play. And that's kind of how we've always, we'll play with pop bands, punk bands, metal bands, death metal, deathcore.
Don't matter.
It don't matter. We'll play to whoever.
It's like, once we get on stage, it's our job to own that space and just put on like a level 10 show. And it's just like something we always try to do. And I feel that, that draws people in. It's like, even on the shows where, you got neckbeard dude in the back, hating because there's not enough slam riffs. You can still win over some of those people in those crowds, if the energy is there, if the sincerity, just, you're not just doing another like stale imitation of a band that you saw in like, 2015. It's just like that people gravitate to that. People want to see bands that, that are trying to push their craft. Like, they want even the people that hate, they're like, oh, Invisible Monsters were too short. they only say it's too short because they wanted more.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like that's something that we want to, continue to push that big boulder up the hill. It's just like this may be like a pain sometimes, but it's just like it's all worth it, and we're always having fun. So the people that see us, they want to be a part of it too.
Yeah.
First of all, it is too short, and I do want some more. But but yeah, I think that's what really.
Say that too, so.
Huh?
I've had a few girlfriends that said that.
Jesus. But it took me a second to realize what you were talking about. I got it.
Got it.
But yeah, I think that's what really separates really good bands from just like average. Is like the bands that put on like a really good show. Like how can you expect other people to get into you if you're not into your own music? You know what I mean? You can't just stand there at a show. That's great. Even if you're playing to nobody, like you got to be like acting like there's 1,000 people out there.
All the time.
Right.
So yeah. So that way when we go back to playing to nobody, we know how to do that.
So Holly in the chat is really into hot dogs for some reason. She's asking how you guys dress your hot dogs.
So first of all, hot dog is a sandwich, just to make it clear.
Okay, I can buy that. Yeah.
I don't do the mayonnaise thing. Do you do the mayonnaise thing?
I don't do mayonnaise. I like the street vendor dogs where they're like wrapped in bacon, and the cart has to look like it could be falling apart at any time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like if the cart is as shabby as possible, that means that the hot dogs will be exponentially better,
flavorful,
right? If it comes in a package and you can like see through it due to grease, yes,
yeah.
So I go bacon wrapped. I like grilled onions. I like
toasted bun.
Toasted bun. See, the scratchy mouth. I'm not about that. I like soft buns.
Weak.
Soft buns in my. But so, and then I do a mayonnaise and mustard.
Okay.
I'm a simple man.
Yeah, I'll go. I think we've gotten to where it's chili dog, toasted, turkey chili, and turkey franks. And melted cheese, because we got to be that fat kid.
I was just gonna say mustard with relish, but now you're talking about bacon wrapped hot dogs. I think I'm gonna take some of that, man.
Do it. Good life.
Do it, bro.
Treat yourself.
So you guys said that sales are doing really well for your EP. I was looking around at Spotify and comparing where your streams are compared to mine, and I saw you guys had a huge spike on June 27th, but there's no like posts on Facebook or anything. What happened there? Did somebody like feature you guys somewhere?
So
it was like you guys got up to like 1,000 streams or something just on that one day.
Yeah, the thing with that was we got very lucky in that Revolver decided they weren't going to cover anything important and gave us a spot.
They wanted to give the trash cans a shot.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That is so sick. I can't believe that. That's so sick.
We got real lucky. Revolver is, a great publication that a lot of people recognize the name. And for some reason, I personally think it was the subject matter and a very intense music video, and I think they saw that and went,
just go there.
We gotta let this. We gotta cover this.
That was for
we don't cover this. That was for
Revenge My Love.
Revenge My Love. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that music video. Okay.
Well, I fully recommend watching it because I had a massive mental breakdown trying to put just the end of that video together.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to look at that then.
Yeah, I fully recommend that one just because, like, my brain kind of snapped.
Damn. Yeah. Alrighty.
And it was such a interesting time, like when we decided to what video we're gonna put out first, and just like a perfect storm of shitty outside world and songs that we had ready to go, and. We were gonna go with another song as our opener because at first we just wanted to let the band speak for itself, and we just knew that leading with Revenge may cast us in a certain light, but at the end of the day we are who we are, and we do what the fuck we want. So we decided, hey, let's go with Revenge. And Revolver was cool enough to be like, hey, let's give these trash piles some light in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Got lucky.
oh yeah.
Dude, that is sick. So you guys didn't know anybody there? You just like submitted the video and stuff, and they took it on.
We didn't know anybody personally. Our publicist has her little, she does her work, and we get a little bit of that runoff every once in a while.
The
Jesus.
spirit fingers.
Yeah.
The spear fingers. So you guys played a lot of shows. Did you ever go on like an actual tour?
Not in this band yet. We've gone on like longer trips or weekend stuff. We've done a couple of the marathon where you do 2 or 3 shows in a single day, and with the energy level that we do, that can be very taxing.
Right? Jesus.
But the core group, myself, Kevin, and Eric, we've been on quite a few tours together. We tried to do our best with Arson to kind of build what we could while we were home, and I think we were in the process of starting to like, all right, what do we need to start really getting on the road, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, I figured you guys would have been like out like playing shows right now, like out touring and stuff, like in support of this EP, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of goals to try to fulfill.
Like the initial plans.
Yeah.
If the Rona didn't, descend upon the land, like, we would have been out on the road, pushing the record. But it's like,
and for me, that's not to, we're doing as much as we can, but that's not to belittle. We have a lot of friends that are touring musicians, working musicians, work in the industry, work at venues, managers. They've all been hit. So we're not, our little $50 a night payout does not compare to like what they're going through when they're not having a steady income. Like we do what we do because we enjoy what we do, and it's not our only form of income. And seeing a lot of our friends that are struggling because they don't have their regular touring gig, their regular touring job.
It's really eye opening. Is just being a part of the music industry, and being a baby band or a little band, just like you want to get into those like long tours and all that kind of stuff, and then you see how everything shuts down. It's just like moving forward, you want to make sure that the infrastructure is there, or just the community is there of musicians that can support each other and just be able to carry on in spite of all this stuff. Like now, with streaming
there's other avenues,
other avenues for bands to survive. Is like now we know after 9 months of being in the lockdown, all this kind of stuff. But just looking forward to 2021 and getting back to shows and getting back to touring, and possibly trying to go to other countries or something like that. Just this all the kind of stuff that we want to accomplish with this band, and just want to push it as far as we can go.
Nice. So what was the worst show you've ever played?
Oh, worst show. What was your worst show with this band?
I don't have one with this band. I would say was particularly bad. I mean, I just remember one time I was in another band, My Life in Red, and we were in Phoenix, Arizona, and it was just so fucking like Africa hot, like 120, just fucking dry as shit. Our guitar player was dehydrated, and like he had his guitar on him, but he was just resting up against the wall, and his eyes were just zoned out. I'm like, is this man dead, or are we about to play as a 4-piece? And like we put some water in him, just come on, man, just keep it together for like 20 minutes. You got this. And then he fucking hung in there and just immediately just vomited just his brains out afterwards. It's just being so dehydrated and just no food. Like we drove for like a couple hours and then just bang, bang, boom. And just, I remember just being like in between sets, I think he ran off and puked. And it's just being like, we're going to take a quick commercial break and just stuff like that. I think that was probably like, it wasn't a terrible show, but I was a drummer in that band. I just remember just being like, okay, our guitar player might just die on stage. This is going to be good. Like,
I guess I'll I guess I'll keep it going with the Arizona story then. We in a previous band we had played in Yuma, and it was actually a really good show and really great turnout. Got to the second to last song, and I'm questioning it because I don't. You'll understand why I don't remember it. I got nailed with a guitar head in the
Jesus.
in the back of the head, and finished the set just covered in blood, and finished the set. Did what we have to do. Immediately got rushed to the hospital. Um, I think it was 10 or 12 stitches, and then came back and went right to selling merch and then getting on the road.
God damn. That's
Like a
crazy.
boss.
That must have been super brutal for the crowd though, to just see you performing with the blood coming down your face or whatever. Like, oh my
Uh,
god. You
it
probably
was
don't
a lot of
remember it at all.
no, it was a lot. It's a big blur. I remember a lot of weird kids.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. The story that I remember was they had actually held my head together with some paper towel, and the kid that ended up with the paper towel full of blood wanted to clone me. He wanted to make
All
a
right.
a clone of a clone band of Mark's, and that was going to be a new band.
I'm gonna take this blood off of this discarded napkin
Yeah.
and using my technology, I'm gonna grow a clone
Mhm.
army of Marks to shred my way to domination. That
Yeah.
sounds like a good plan.
That is, I would do that too.
Like, we should do that as a video.
Dude,
Like
there we
having
go.
Mark.
I'm into it. I'm into it. We gotta find
Army of clone Marks.
We gotta find X Pac and everybody.
We're gonna get hologram Tupac, Army of clone Marks, and then we're gonna lead a fight against like the Mole Man or something
I'm
like
with
that.
it. I'm with it.
Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
that sounds good. What's your best show ever?
That's a good one.
Like the Pressure Crack show.
Pressure Crack Show.
I that was a really good feeling because I was like just starting in the band, like not just starting in the band, but just like really getting my footing, and feeling like you're in the captain's chair, and I remember feels right. And I remember that show just being a good turnout, and like
people were into it,
and to get to play with people from bands that you like used to listen to like all the time, getting to play with Jason was like a little mini fanboy moment for me.
Yeah.
And like I remember going to Let Live shows and just talking to him afterwards and just being like, hey man, good set, yeah. And just now being able to like play a show with that guy just made it so well, made me feel so good. And then my little sister ended up coming to that show, and it was just like out of nowhere. It was just a really good swirling cascade of feelings, like wrapped up in one show.
Yeah.
And it was like it's in a skate shop, and it's just like top grade feeling for me.
I like that one. My favorite was actually Chain when we got the rowboat.
Oh, that was sick.
There's a video on our Instagram if you get a chance, or anybody that gets really bored, and we played. It was a pretty good turnout at Chain Reaction, which if anybody knows what that is, it's a rock club in Orange County, and it's pretty well known. But the kids, instead of moshing, they ended up all sitting down on the floor in a row and started rowing
along to the breakdown of it was camp. And it was just like there's this video, and it's just like from the crowd's perspective, there's like 6 kids in a row doing this like row your boat thing to the thing, and I'm just like when I play, I don't wear my glasses, so I can't really see, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm just like, are these dudes rowboating? I'm just like fucking, I'm like, yeah, like stroke it, and it's just like that is a good moment because it's just so random. These dudes were just like, nope, no one we knew. We're just like, yeah, we're so into your wrist. We just wanted to fucking row a boat, man. Like, it's just so fucking so weird.
So they had an actual boat, or were they just like sitting on the floor doing this?
They're just sitting on the floor. Just they all got together and they were just like 6
so
of them just all into it. And it was,
I think people have a hard time figuring out how to mosh to our music, so they row boats.
When all else fails, row boats.
So what was the last album you guys listened to?
On the way, I listened to on the way over here. I was listening to Possession 1981. They have a song "Rabbit and Cursed." It starts off with this really good blast beat parts, and I love his vocals, and that was probably like the no. I was listening to that on my way
Yeah,
over here.
I think you sent me that one on YouTube. Um, so
Is that
I
the one where they like killed everybody in the video?
Yeah, and it's like all in this black and white,
Okay.
and they have like the corpse paint on them.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, dude, that one is sick, man.
so I think I'm gonna be the basic bitch on this one, and the last thing I remember listening to all the way through because we were just driving around all day was Dillinger's "One of Us Is the Killer," and
Okay.
it's just a great record. But I think that's the last one that I like. Like Dillinger, Chariot, and 18 Visions. I front to back. If it's on, that's what we're listening to, and that's it.
What about your albums of the year so far?
Oh, dude. Oh. So I'm gonna be that guy and tell you that I totally like. I thought there was an album that came out early this year, only to find out it came out really late last year, and I really love this record. The Knock Loose, Different Shade of Blue.
Okay.
Um, but I guess that came out in December of last year, and I thought it was January of this year. And I've been, dude, time is like not even a thing for me right
time
now.
means nothing.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but if I had to say something that like I've been all about this year, it's kind of been your stuff. Like I've kind of gone through quarantine, just going through all your records, and you have plenty of them on YouTube. So I've just been eating all that shit up.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
I've been really into Full of Hell.
Okay.
Lately, they did a collab with this band Health,
Yeah, I
and
see
then
your
so
shirt there,
my
full of health.
shirt is Full of Health. I love this
It's
shirt. Ironically, and I wear the shirt to curse the Rona and spit in the eye of God, like I'm full of health. Fuck you. Um, so Full of Health, and then Portrayal of Guilt.
Fuck yeah.
They've been a band I've been listening to a lot, and then ACXDC, their Satan is King. With I like that record. I've been listening to a lot this year. I think that's a 2020. Yeah. So ACXDC, Satan is King.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. So as far as merch goes, you guys have vinyl, shirts, and tapes, but no CDs. Why don't we have CDs?
So we had talked about doing CDs because we did CDs for the last release, and I can actually see them. They're right there. And I've been sitting on a big pile of them because as many people want CDs, it costs us almost double to get those made. So it kind of didn't really make any sense to do that again where I was like, I'm just gonna have boxes of CDs in the house. And then we did this release and it's like
Everyone's like, we want to see the
CDs.
CDs. Like there's a CD like resurgence,
Yeah.
like recently in like the metal community. Everyone like, I'm a vinyl collector.
Mhm.
Like I get really into that. So I was in the mind frame like, oh, like if we're gonna do this and make nice album art and let's do a 7-inch, see what the response is, and looking forward, maybe we'll do the CDs, just to keep all the kids happy. But going into this, we didn't even think that we were gonna press this record at first. And then, once we hooked up with Ryan and he just really was like, yo, if you guys are going to do this,
Let's do it.
you have the ingredients, like, push it to its potential. And so we ended up doing vinyls and we have tapes because those made a comeback as well.
Right.
Recently. Like people are like they want one of these bad boys, but
it's glaring so hard.
but
Glaring, it's fine.
oh, it's okay. But eventually down the line we're gonna make CDs, but got some shirts.
Real quick, 2 seconds. I just noticed that my dude Tay Gumby, that's Taylor from Steak Sauce, is in the
I was
chat.
just about to mention. Oh, is it really? Oh shit.
Yeah, that dude fucking bangs. We love that guy, and
Yo, Tay.
the reason that we love that guy is actually because talking about merch, he does all our merch.
Yeah.
So So
Oh, really?
yeah, so he did this guy.
Oh, I had not seen that shirt before.
Yeah, that's actually this is brand new from this is actually just for your cast. Like this is the first time it's actually been on the internet.
Okay, shit, man.
That's brand new. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess get back a little bit.
And then we got this bad boy. Dog wants to do vocals right now. But we also have this bad boy. I don't know. See if we can get it.
Hell yeah, man.
Do the Vanna White. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, here we go. See this?
Very elegant.
Very nice.
But yeah, that's Taylor. That's Taylor Bates. He is. I don't understand how he gets us, but then I see his band and it's like, oh, okay, because you guys are way sillier than we are.
Well, I was gonna say that's like the best comparison I could think of to you guys is Steak Sauce Mustache. Like you are very similar to them.
Wow. First of all, thank you, and secondly, I fucking wish because that band fucking bangs.
We got to play with him, and it was such a fucking treat. Like getting to see like
Brett and Taylor and just killing it.
Boundless energy.
Brett, I do my best to I bug that guy so much because he's another gear nerd. Like I wish we could talk about guitar. Like we could do a second cast just about guitar stuff, bro. He's another gear nerd, so he'll text me like, "Yo, what do you think of this?" And I'm like, "That kills." Like I hope that makes it to the next record. And he'll send me some demos of what they're working on. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about Steak Sauce.
Shout out to Steak Sauce.
Fuck yeah, dude. Super Woke was amazing. Is amazing. It's so good. So what do the vinyl and stuff look like?
They look like they do on the website because we don't have any right now.
Ah, okay. I gotcha.
You go check out War Against Records website.
Mm-hmm.
Like in.
Oh, it's also on your Bandcamp too, right?
I believe it is.
Boom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So immediately after you're done listening to this, I demand that you drop what you're doing and go listen to Invisible Monsters, the Arson Choir's new EP, which dropped October 2nd on War Against Records. You guys are on Spotify. I would assume all the other streaming sites, right?
Yep.
Apple Music
iTunes,
and stuff.
Bandcamp. All the things.
All
Apple.
the things. Yeah.
You're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You guys got the YouTube, which is amazing, by the way. Go check out their YouTube. As for me, drop the channel a follow so you always know when I go live. The cast is now done on Wednesdays and Sundays, both times at 7 p.m. YouTube folks, if you like the video, please drop a like, tickle the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation. My 5th album, Memes, Dreams, and Flying Machines, is out now. The guest for Sunday night will be Night In at the Tiananmen's. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Night In at the Tiananmen's. So join us this Sunday at 7 p.m. for a live interview. But thanks for being here, guys. Hope you all had a good time.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you want us back on, let us know. And anytime you want to talk gear, just hit me up.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, you guys are welcome back anytime. And thank you for watching and listening.